The Melrose Trading Post, a little swap meet near West Hollywood, is celebrating its 25th anniversary. We take a look at how it's grown and become a model for schools to help support the arts. Welcome back to Fox 11 News in Depth. I'm Hal Eisner. You may know that there's a flea market every week at Fairfax High School. You may even be aware that it's been going on for 25 years, but you may not know why shopping at the Melrose Trading Post is such a good deed. Joining us to talk about that are Pierson, Blaetz and Whitney Weston, the founders of the Melrose Trading Post. Good to see you both. Thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, the pleasure is all ours. Listen, let me ask you, when you guys came up with this idea for the swap meet at Fairfax High School, you never expected it to be around this long, did you?
No, not at all.
How did
we were planning on doing it one time, and we've been doing it every Sunday for 25 years.
I happen to be a big fan of flea markets. So how did it all get started? Give us a little bit of the Post 101.
Well, we lived in the neighborhood. We were artists, and we wanted to get involved with the school, Fairfax High School. So we knocked on the door, and we asked them if we could do some art programming at the school. And what we found out is that what they needed was money. So they asked us if we would do some fundraising for them. So we thought of doing a flea market for one day and raise money, and it was so successful that we've been doing it every Sunday for 25 years.
And have raised over $10 million for the high school.
That's just remarkable, and that's really a big part of this, isn't it? That you're raising money for programming for kids, for the arts.
Yes, for the arts, for everything you can imagine on this campus. You can imagine $10 million over 25 years goes for a lot of different things. What's key is we're connected to the school. We find out right away what we need, what they need, and we make it happen.
You know, I bet other school districts kind of envy what's going on at Fairfax High School with your trading post. I suppose it's grown over the years, and I gather you have a foundation as well.
Well,
Yes.
we actually are a nonprofit. So we've always been a nonprofit. So all of the money that's raised at the Trading Post, every single penny of it goes either to the school, to any programs for students or teachers, or the arts. We also do have a small theater where we do plays and spoken word poetry and other things for the community. So it's a community dollar all the way across.
Yeah, I know there's a big history for the meet itself, but I gather there's some entrepreneurs that got their feet wet there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. You know, it's the perfect place to come, and if you have a good idea, you set up in a 10 feet by 10 feet space and you give it a shot. And we have over 6,000 people every Sunday that come to the market, and it's a great place for people to try things out, and major companies have grown out of this market. And we have such an interesting, unique merchandise every Sunday.
You know, I've got to tell you, I just looked at that video. There was an old Victrola, that big thing with a kind of a cone, and you used to put a record on it. You used to crank it, and it used to play music. It was a long time before streaming music. And one time at a flea market, I bought myself an old early 1900s radio, a stand-up radio that had tubes in it. And I took it to the radio station I was working at, and I got the engineers to get those tubes to light up and to work. And it sounded like I was listening to old radio, but I was listening to new radio and an old radio. But that's what you find at flea markets. You find arts and crafts, but you find really neat, unique little things, don't you?
We had a guy who was putting in, finding those cases, and then they were setting up a Wi-Fi Bluetooth setup in the back of that old radio. So you could not only have the old sound, but you could connect it to your, to your phone.
Yeah, it's like a treasure hunt.
So tell us a little bit, and we only have about a minute left, the details of your 25th anniversary and the swap meet.
You want to go?
No, you go ahead.
We're celebrating 25 years, but what we are celebrating is the fact that the community has come on to this campus and students get a chance to interact with the community. That's really our mission, is we bring the community and the students together. And that's what is so unique about our model, and that is what is so needed at public schools across the country, is how do we figure out how to not have those students isolated behind a chain link fence. Instead, that public school should be a crossroads, a community hub for students and community interacting. That's what schools used to be, and that's what we are now.
Well, tip of the hat to you both, Whitney Weston and Pierson Blaetz. It's a good thing to have a way for these kids to get funding, and flea markets happen to be something I find very entertaining, to be honest. Thank you both for being with us.